Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue, and coming up on today's show, we're going to take a look at some youngsters involved in the Junior League Mid-Atlantic Sectional Championship, an event that was played recently at Ledge Rock. Also, Gil Hands, the noted golf course architect from Malvern, Pennsylvania, will reflect on his role in designing and then being in Rio getting ready for the championship of Olympic golf down in Rio de Janeiro. It's all coming up next, right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by Destination Montco Golf, 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By Jersey Man Magazine. It's a Jersey way of life. And Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
I didn't know much about golf before first tee. My best part about putting is getting it in that hole. The first year my driving would keep going off to the sides, and then now I keep it nice and straight.
I thought like getting that small ball in such a small target, I thought that was pretty awesome.
My game's pretty good, it's improved.
The First Tee of Greater Philadelphia, where golf is more than a game.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. Recently, the Junior League held a Mid-Atlantic Championship at Ledge Rock. And here with more on that, Leela Mackey.
Thanks, Harry. We're here at Ledge Rock Golf Club for the PGA Junior League Golf Regional Championship, and with me is PGA of America employee Mike Aldridge and the head golf professional here at Ledge Rock, Mike Bell. Now, Mike, tell us a little bit about kind of who's playing in this and what the day entails.
So we have 4 teams from the Mid-Atlantic here today, and over the next 2 days we're going to play round-robin tournament. They play a 2-person scramble, and we're going to determine who goes to nationals. And
when you say the Mid-Atlantic, this region is part of the Mid-Atlantic Regional, but it's sub-regional winners from 4 PGA sections. The PGA, which sections are included in this besides the Philadelphia section?
Well, we have the Mid-Atlantic section of the PGA, and we also have the New Jersey PGA here. So we have teams from Maryland, Virginia, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania.
And our team that's playing from Pennsylvania, our sub-regional winner is from Penn State. So these teams are competing today in the regional, and the winner of this 2-day event will go to the national championship, correct?
That is correct. They're going to be going to Greyhawk Golf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona on November 19th through the 21st.
That's really exciting for them. We're also here with PGA head golf professional Mike Bell. And Mike, just tell us a little bit about what it's meant to kind of host this event here at Ledge Rock.
Well, it's been a great pleasure to have the regionals here. I know it was kind of the brainchild of Andy Miller, who's our director of instruction. It's been fantastic to showcase our club and just get all the kids out here. I've heard nothing but good things from the kids about how fantastic our facility is, so we really are proud and happy to have them out here at Ledge Rock.
Well, it's a great facility. I've heard a lot of great comments. There seems to be a lot of parents that are here that have made the drive to come visit, and it's a great event. We're looking forward to the day.
It's just been a tremendous activity for the summer. The kids are learning great values, sportsmanship, the rules of golf. They're also learning to have fun. It's competitive, but it's not serious to the point of being too competitive, and kids are learning how to take care of the course and support each other and be each other's biggest fans and cheer each other on. And learning a lot of great values and just being outside and having fun.
I'm here with our Penn State coach, Steve Wager, whose team is here competing today. And Steve, tell us a little bit about your experience with the program.
It's been terrific.
So in my section, or in our league, we had, this is our first year in it, we've had 41 kids sign up for it this year. And at the beginning, I had like a little evaluation to try to get to know the kids, see where they were playing. I was going to put them on teams. And out of the 41, we only had 4 kids that knew someone else that played golf. So now, after going through our whole bracket, playing the whole season, the all-star bracket, it's been great. I have 10 kids on our team. They're best friends. They're goofing around in the hotels. They absolutely love it. And it's nice to see that there's this huge group of kids that are actually excited to play golf.
Steve, how do you see the program kind of growing in the future?
Yeah, for us, it's going to get huge next year. I have at least 10 parents that said they have 3 more kids that want to sign up. I have brothers of the kids that are playing on the team that were upset that they played baseball this year instead of playing golf this year. So we had 41 this year. I don't like 80 next year. I don't know. So it's going to be awesome.
That's great. I've personally heard some really positive feedback from parents. What have you heard from the parents on this team?
Yeah, the parents are loving it. They love the fact that their kids are playing together. They're supporting each other. It's really nice to see, and the parents have gone crazy about it. So it's been fun.
I think the PGA Junior League is just to have fun and to learn more about golf and to meet new friends.
It's a wonderful opportunity for the children to get out and enjoy great courses like Ledge Rock and learn about the game and grow the game of golf, and that's why we love the PGA Junior program.
Andy's an awesome teacher.
Good job, Mary. Well done.
We saw earlier all the fun that you've had out here and how great, how good of a time the kids have with you. Just tell us a little bit about what you think the future holds for the program. How do you see it growing in the future?
Well, the program has grown by leaps and bounds every year, and it's been fun to watch, and it's awesome that we can host an event of this magnitude. I would say if you're interested, if you haven't been involved before, visit your local PGA golf professional, and they can direct you to whatever you need to do to sign up.
Absolutely. Your kid could be out here one day. And for more information, you can visit www.pgajlg.com. We've had a great time here at Ledge Rock. Thanks for having us.
My favorite thing about playing with teams was that you didn't just have to play your own ball, that you could play. You had like 2 tries.
My favorite thing about the team was we all worked together.
My favorite thing about the team was that if you hit a bad ball, it didn't matter because you still had to depend on everybody else.
My favorite thing about the team was just they're so nice and they're all good. It's just about teamwork.
Oh no!
What?
Mandy keeps sending me pictures of the girls' shopping trip to Monco.
Why did you tell him you couldn't go again?
Because I told him that we needed to catch up on housework.
Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, published by former Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, is everything you want in a publication catering to men's interest. Enjoy articles on politics, business, the mob, wine, food, fitness, and travel. Written by the likes of George Anastasia, Bill Lyon, Sam Carchidi, and Mike Kern. Want to grow your business? Ask for information on our Legacy and Chairman Clubs. They meet regularly and can be a valuable tool for your company. Subscriptions are only $20 a year for 6 issues. They're available at jerseymanmagazine.com. Welcome back to Inside Golf. We are at French Creek. Gil Hands has joined us, who designed French Creek, but Gil, more recently you're known for what happened in Rio. And how about this? We actually have the torch that you carried as part of the ceremony to get the Olympics underway down in Rio. That must have been some honor, huh?
Yeah, thanks, Harry. It was great. It was something that, you know, we weren't sure it was going to come through until sort of 2 or 3 days before, but I think it was recognition and appreciation from the people at Rio 2016 for the work that was done there and some of the circumstances we had to go through to get it done.
And you were one of 12,000 torchbearers, huh?
Yeah.
That must have been some experience. How long actually did you run with this thing?
It's about 200 meters, which is probably the maximum distance I can go.
Did you practice?
No. If I can't do that, then something's wrong.
And how did you get on the list?
I think, you know, the folks, the higher ups at Rio 2016, Carlos Newsman, who's the head of their organizing committee, and Joseph Brito, who was his right-hand man, thought it would be a nice honor and nice recognition for me to be able to do it.
They made you an offer you could not refuse.
That's true.
That's great. Well, this will be around for a long, long time, I'm sure. Let's talk about the whole project. Most of our viewers, I'm sure, are familiar with the ordeal, the selection process. And one of the keys, I think, was the fact that you said you were going to be on site for a lot of the time during the construction, right?
That's true. I think that commitment, which is not atypical for us. I mean, we spend a lot of time on our projects, but obviously it's a long commute to make. But Tracy, my wife, and Kaylee, our youngest daughter, committed to being there with us. And we lived there as a family for about 7 months. And then the realization became that the project was going to take much longer than the original year that we had budgeted for it. And when that came about, we thought, we had already interrupted one of Kaylee's school years. Figured let's just get her home and let her get back into her junior year of high school. And then at that point, I just commuted every month for 10 to 14 days.
There were a lot of challenges, as you mentioned, not just with the physical part of building, but also some of the political issues, the environmental issues, and things like that. Was there any time when you almost threw up your hands and said, you know what, do I really need this?
No, I can't say that there was. I think, and the reason is that they never once asked us to change the design. If they had started to say, well, if you build 30 bunkers instead of 80, that's going to save us money. If they asked us to compromise the design, and ultimately if we had to build a golf course that we had to apologize for, then I think that would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But I think we knew we couldn't control any of the things that were happening outside the gates, all the environmental stuff, the land disputes. All we could focus on was keeping our heads down and sort of working hard within the gates. And I think those were the biggest frustrations, the ones we felt like we should be able to dictate the way a golf course is built as opposed to it being dictated to us by people who really had no knowledge of building golf courses.
From looking at it, the coverage that I saw of the competition, you basically dealt with what you were given there in terms of the land, right? You kept a lot of the sand and the soil and things like that, a critical part, a strategic part of the golf course.
Absolutely, and I think one of the testaments to the construction crew, the guys that worked with us down there, is we went out and literally put ropes around all the native areas. So all the stuff that we saw on TV and we continue to see that looks and appears native and sandy, we had to protect all of that because otherwise the construction crews would have been running all over it and destroyed it.
Yeah, how about the owl's nest in one of the bunkers on what hole was that got a lot of coverage?
It was number 9. I figured the owl would be the star of the show. I mean,
they were there from day one?
From day one, we had 3 owls on site. Now we have 14.
Okay,
so
they're a prolific group.
They really are, and then some of them came to the site as well.
Okay, and you had some other wildlife there, the largest rodents we've ever seen. Did they become an obstacle at any time during the construction?
It was interesting. We'd go away, Harry, and at night, and we'd come back the next morning. You'd see their little trails. They'd come out of the trees and walk across the sand, and we called them the Capybara Highway. As they'd move through the site, we could kind of predict where they were. And we found out that they have a nice appetite for paspalum grass. So anywhere where the paspalum got a little bit longer than greens height, they would nibble on it every night.
And they're part and parcel now of the golf course, as are gator or two, right?
Yeah, we saw some caimans down there. We really didn't have any problems with them. Just one day, I think we got one that snuck into a drainage pipe.
Stenson had a little poke at one too, didn't he, in the 3rd round, I think?
That was interesting to see.
Well,
either that or crazy. I'm not sure which one.
The competition couldn't have been better for the men and the way it ended on 18. How about the strategy on 18, a par 5? And I noticed you had some subtle mounding there in front of the green, and I think it really hurt Stenson and may have helped where he was located, Justin Rose.
Well, I think one of the things going into the competition, we had predicated the design on angles, and it's an intentionally wide golf course because you can see how much the wind can blow there. And we weren't sure if angles were dead for that class of player, that they could just overpower a golf course and it really didn't matter much. But I think, we were delighted that we could see on 18 that it came down to those two, two of the best players in the field. And one of them had a great angle into that whole location, Rose from over on the left, and Stenson kind of had to play up and over that little ridge, and you saw that catch his ball and pull it back down. So from that standpoint, we felt like, it was sort of vindication that angles still are an important part of golf.
Congratulations, well done in Rio. I know you got a busy schedule, right? You going to go back anytime soon?
We'll probably be back down there in December. We have a consulting agreement with Gavia Golf Club, which is a beautiful little private club in town, and we'll certainly get our eyes back on the Olympic course.
I guess you're the man down there in Rio, better than some of the American swimmers left their reputation there. And this is a pride relic of your experience in Rio de Janeiro.
Very proud of everything that we did. I mean, our team pulled together. It was great. I had my entire family down there. So, you know, when you're surrounded by people you love and you get really special moments, I don't know how you could ask for anything more.
Absolutely. Gil Hands is the man, and we'll be back. More Inside Golf continues in just a moment.
Probably for everybody listening today is the ball goes where the club face hits it.
Now on sale, Tracy Morgan, October 15th.
Welcome back to Inside Golf, and it's time for our Teed Off segment. We're at the Valley Forge Casino Resort in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, with our panel that includes Jack Conley, longtime Philadelphia area professional and a former president of the PGA America. Jack now kind of hangs his hat, even though I never saw you in a hat, I don't think, Jack, at North Hills, where he's a great ambassador to the game of golf. Joe Logan is back with us on Teed Off. Joe is the author of the blog myphillygolf.com. Find out everything you want about Philadelphia golf and more from Joe Logan. And an author in his own right and a PGA professional of long-standing, Mr. Bob Shepard.
Thank you.
With his book here. Go ahead.
The Dormy House, new book, good read for the whole family. So
lots of great short stories.
Don't be shy. If you need help, give me a call. I'll drop it off the house.
And maybe get a lesson, because that's what we're talking about. We are talking about, we have two guys here that have, I don't know how many combined years as instructors of the game. A lot. How about if I say that?
A lot.
That's enough. We'll leave it at a lot. And two other guys who have a lot of years trying to perfect our games, right? It's like, why do we do this to our, you know, the definition of insanity? Why do you keep doing the same thing expecting a different result? Okay, we're right there. But I want to talk to you fellas first as professionals about swing tips. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you read a magazine, and I get 5 of them a month, and they always got on the cover, get an extra 7 yards. You know, it's never 5 or 10. It's always an odd number, right? Is that how you approach it with a pupil, Jack, who you meet for the first time, when they come to you and say, you know, I want to get an extra 10 yards out of my drives or whatever?
Well, when I talk to a new student, as I'm sure Bob does, I'm trying to find out what their expectations are, what's going to make them happy. And then for me in particular, it's more important for me to have the student understand what I'm asking them to do, rather than just do it because Jack Conley says to do it. So we go into an education part of the golf swing. And from there, we just take it on. There's a couple variables that I focus on when I teach. But the most important probably for everybody listening today is the ball goes where the club face hits it. So for the people that slice the ball, they're actually coming in with an open club face. People that hook it, they get too much, it's too closed at impact. So once you understand that concept, then you can start figuring out your own game to a certain extent, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Is there one way of doing it? For instance, does Bob Shepard take whoever the pupil is and say, okay, here's what I want you to do, rather than maybe just take that person where he is, some with physical, you know, limitations, and try to work with who they are, rather than try to convert them into your swing?
Yeah, well, the way I looked at it as I was teaching, and the more I taught, the more I agreed with this. When they build a golf club, they only have one guideline to go by, and that's the grip. If they're going to build the head in this form and the shaft to flex like such, then we all have to grip the club the same way, because the heads are the same. So I feel that the grip's the whole game. If they don't hold the club correctly, there's no sense in talking about the rest of the swing, because it's not going to function. If you hold the club correctly, the correct hand position lines up all the muscles in the arms and the back and the neck, and the club just gets on a track and goes. So from there, I think you can start working on a golf swing. But if you elect not to grip the club correctly, you have to be satisfied with 95 to 100 for your score, or you're dreaming. You know, you're not going to, because the club's not going to work. It's like, I can give you a beautiful Maserati. If I don't give you the key, the car is worthless. And it's the same.
It looks nice.
Yeah, so I can give you a $500 driver. You don't hold it right, it's not going to work, you know.
Joe, I assume you've had a lot of golf.
I've had a lot of tips.
Have you?
Some I asked for, some I didn't.
More tips in the car park.
What's the best ever?
I ever got. I was playing, I was younger. I wasn't playing very well. I was furious at myself. I was steam coming out of my ears. The guy I'm playing with said, "Be so hard on yourself. Leave that to your wife." He's right. I'm not that good. I gotta just manage your expectations. You know. And ever since then, I've actually passed that tip on more than a few times.
Okay. But was there ever a physical tip that somebody gave where the light went off and you went, "Wow, why didn't I realize that 10 years ago?"
It's a tip that somebody gave me. I forget now who. Probably Joe Turner, my first club pro, and I use it whenever I'm playing. I try to use it, and that is, don't swing so hard. It's all about tempo. Slow down. Almost everything about my golf swing improves if I just slow down and not try to hit it so hard.
All right, in the time we have left, I'm going to ask both you professionals a question about when things were going bad, and I know you haven't played too much because of some health issues recently, but when you were playing a lot and you got into a slump, was there a go-to guy that you had?
Yeah, well, I used to play amateur golf rather well and consistently, and when I did fall off the wagon, so to speak, George Fazio was my go-to guy, and George was very simple. He's definitely a take two aspirin, go home and go to bed type of guy. He wasn't going to hang around and
nothing elaborate.
He wasn't going to watch you hit balls. He'd tell you what was wrong, and that was that. So he was my go-to. And then as I got to be a younger pro, and again, I wasn't much for taking lessons. I never had instructors per se, but I used to hang around with Sam Pennicow
at White Marsh.
At White Marsh Valley Country Club, and Sam was a great. It was an inspiration. So if you went over hooking the ball, he'd talk you out of it. You know, he was that type of a pro. Which the Bud Lewises and the Ken Steers of the world, that's what they did too. If you had talent, they didn't try to rebuild you. They tried to get you back on your feet again. So, yeah, it's something. Teaching is fun, but it can be overdone too. You know.
How about you, Jack?
Never had a go-to guy, but I would always, when I was an assistant, talk to the head pro. And as Bob said, Ken Steer, when I was at Huntington Valley, Ken helped me a lot. And I learned a lot by watching good players when I played in the tournaments. The Dick Smiths, the Dix Hendersons, the Ted McKenzie's, the Henry McQuistons, the guys of my age. They were all good players, so just watching them helped me figure out what I needed to do to get to the next level.
Do you have a final swing thought?
Not really. For me, it's just shoulder, knee, because that's the same thing as tempo, as Joe said earlier. Instead of 1-2, which means nothing, I'm trying to combine body motion with some fluidity.
And the next time you get out there,
right, target.
To take it away?
Target is the answer. Just think about target.
Target.
Yeah, whatever I see, last thing I see is what I'm going to go at. Yeah,
Harvey Phoenix said, "Take dead aim."
Yeah.
I never knew what that meant. What do you mean, take dead aim?
Dead
What
aim,
does that mean?
Right.
Well, you weren't Hogan, that's why. Gentlemen, thank you. More of Inside Golf coming up in just a moment. The Valley Forge Casino Resort is the region's only full amenity gaming resort, and it's only seconds from the Pennsylvania Turnpike at King of Prussia. It features 600 slots, 50 table games, and there are nearly 500 guest rooms, plus 8 restaurants designed to meet all of your dining needs. So put the beautiful Valley Forge Casino Resort on your destination list.
This summer was a great one at Valley Forge Casino Resort as we just wrapped up our second season of Valley Beach Poolside Club with outdoor dining, drinks, and great entertainment. And beach tags are on sale now for only $100 for next season. But speaking of entertainment, this fall, the entertainment lineup's really heating up inside with the Valley Forge Music Fair. We've got great comedians such as Tracy Morgan, Lisa Lampanelli, and Carlos Mencia, and some great music acts as well, such as Theory of a Dead Man and the Dirty Heads, and we'll be announcing more soon. So for tickets and more information, visit vfcasino.com.
In 2008, 13-year-old Lester Bell snuck through the fence of Cedar Crest Golf Course. That's where PGA professional Ira McGraw first met him. But back home, Lester had given up hope for a future. So Ira gave the young man a job, became his friend, and 3 years later, his legal guardian. Today, Lester's still golfing, and he hasn't given up since. The best stories end in thanks. Share your story at ThanksPGAPro.com.
Viewers, end your golf season with a winning stroke at the U.S. Open Par 3 Championship at White Clay Creek Country Club Thursday, October 6th. Amateurs play like pros on 18 Par 3 holes with 3 divisions based on handicap. First place in all 3 divisions win an all-inclusive Apple vacation to Rio Caribe in Cancun. 9 cars up for grabs for a hole-in-one from Sheridan Ford of Wilmington and Sheridan Nissan of Newcastle. Don't wait, secure your spot now at usopenpar3.com. The event will be covered by Inside Golf, and who knows, you could be crowned as best short game player. Brought to you by Apple Vacations, America's favorite vacation company. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Thanks for Leela Mackey and her report on the recent sectional championship of the Junior League, and to Gil Hands for his reflections on designing and then being there for the Olympics of golf down in Rio de Janeiro. Next week, we'll be here at Trump National in Philadelphia for an annual event. It is the Flyers Alumni Outing to benefit the Ed Snyder Junior Hockey Foundation. They raise a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money for this single-day event for an outstanding cause in the memory of former Flyers owner and chairman, Ed Snyder.
You know, having an owner such as Mr. Snyder, you know, come in and shake every single person's hand, you know, he was so personable, and, you know, it was such an honor, you know, just to be able to talk to him. You know, he does such great things in the community, and, you know, be able to be, you know, named an honorary chair on the board, you know, was a huge honor for me, and it's just something great.
I'm Harry Donahue. Thanks for joining us, and remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up. See you next time right here on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by Destination Montco Golf, 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.